Let's look at Bitcoin today. So, as every day, of course, Bitcoin is currently in crucial region right now. So there's two scenarios happening. We can see that Bitcoin broke out of this descending trend line, and right now the target we have is at $72,000. $72,000 because it is the previous peak of this price range right here. If we break $72,000, like I said, the target is $84,000, which is the current CME gap. If we break above $72,000, now we can remove this line and draw this a bit differently for you guys. And if we draw it a bit differently, we can basically draw it as a descending wedge, something like this. Okay, one sec, we can draw it something like this. And then we can see that we actually at crucial support at the moment, and the support is right here. So if we break below this line, we could go a lot lower. And what you could be doing is potentially taking a short, right? You could take a short. If I put the, one second guys, if I put a short position here, like let's say we break below here, okay? Let's say we break below here, and we can target the lows of this area, which is around about 60,000, and then we put the break even, the stop loss just above 72,000. This is a potential opportunity. What you should be waiting for is 2 4-hourly candles below the area here of the breakout, which is around about 67,000. So we want 2 confirmations. Don't just go on a short unless you have a confirmation, or what usually is a good thing to do. Anyway, I don't recommend you to trade this. I don't recommend to trade. I just recommend to buy long-term Bitcoin. That's my strategy. But if you wanted to short, if we go down and then we see a retest is a good confirmation if we go further down. Then now you can see a retest, then we go down, you take a short. But what I recommend to do is just look at Bitcoin overall. So if we go out and look actually and compare Bitcoin to the 2021 cycle, so if I zoom out a bit here on the daily and I compare Bitcoin to 2021, we can see something very similar happening as last time. Obviously, you can see, first of all, what has happened here. We went down, we traded sideways, right? We traded kind of in this channel. We went down further, then we consolidated into a pattern, and we're probably gonna break out because this is what happened last time. If I zoom out to 2021, and I should have probably gone onto the weekly chart, but we have it right here. We have the peak of 2021, okay? What happened here? Well, a very similar thing. We have started going down, right? We started consolidating here. Then we went down further and we had the descending, this triangle forming, which we broke out down from. We broke out down right here, and then we went down further. And if I zoom out a bit, you can see a very similar pattern to right now. Let me actually go on the weekly and show you guys. So the pattern is very similar. You can see here, we went down, we consolidated sideways on both occasions. Then we went down further, we had this, falling wedge pattern, which we broke down from, and it's very similar. You can see there's one top and a second higher top, and then we started going down. We have one top, we have a second higher top. It's pretty much one-to-one the exact same. We go sideways, we go down, we have this wedge pattern here, right, which we eventually break down from, most likely, if you don't break above 72, and then we go further down. Now, another thing I want to show you guys is this Bitcoin spiral, and this basically breaks down Bitcoin's cycle journey. So we have a 4-year cycle, right, for Bitcoin, which is marked by the halving events, which is every approximately 4 years. And the halving event is always happening here, and we can see very similar things. So in the second quadrant, usually we see the all-time highs happening. This is usually Q3 post-halving year. And then we usually see here in the third quadrant, which is here, that we have always the bottom. So they always happen around about the same time. And this will bring us to approximately September, October 2026. So according to this theory, we are following it very much exactly the same. Look, we had the all-time high almost at the same point. In the first cycle, it was a bit higher, but the all-time high was a few months ago. Then we go down further until we reach a bottom around about September, October, which is a good time to start buying. It's actually a good time to start buying anywhere from probably a month from now until we reach this point, because you want to be accumulating over the long run as we are on low prices, because once we go higher, we're not going to have these low prices for much longer. And final thing to talk about is MicroStrategy. We know that most of their market share, most of the money, the value of the company comes from Bitcoin, because they hold a lot of Bitcoin in their reserves. And currently, their Bitcoin reserves are 8.3 times the debt that they have. If Bitcoin goes to $8,000, they're still covering their debt. So Bitcoin can go down 88% from the current price and they will still not go bankrupt. And that is of course a good thing for us to know, because if MicroStrategy goes bankrupt, that's gonna be tremendously bad for Bitcoin, just because of the news of that brings on the market. And that's it for today's video. To summarize, buy Bitcoin in September to October. For now, wait for Bitcoin to either break above $72,000, or if not, don't worry, wait a bit more. We might break down. I think we are going to break down, follow the 2021 cycle, but I'm still hopeful to fill the CME gap. As I said in the last few videos, I do really want to get that CME gap filled, because most of the time they do get filled. So I hope that we're going to go up, hit that CME gap at 84, and then go down. But we are definitely, in my opinion, going down further to approximately this level. You see here, this level has acted as support, it has acted as resistance, it is the bottom of this pattern, and it's approximately the 50,000, the high 40s to $50,000. See you next time. Bye.